Welcome back to another edition of the TMS Book Club here at the Book Circle Capital here on ETV. It's the morning show book club, and namhlanje we've got a writer by the name of Welcome Mandla Lishivha. He's written an interesting book. So if you ever been poor, if you've ever been queer, if you've ever had to come out of anything, being resilient, this book is for you. It's called Boy on the Run. So happy to have him on the show namhlanje. Do I call you Welcome? Do I call you Mandla?
Either. I like Welcome or Welcome Mandla.
Okay.
Up to you. You can choose either, but let's go with Welcome.
Welcome to the morning show.
Thank you for having me. And that joke never gets tired.
Really? So I'm not the only one.
Yes.
Let's talk about Boy on the Run. How old were you when this was happening, when all of this was unraveling in your life? Because and the reason I'm asking of age, I'm seeing a baby picture of you on the cover.
Yes.
So I know there's a significance of why that particular picture is on there. There's a story there on its own.
Yes, so the book was inspired by the tragic incident I experienced when I was 12, which was that I walked in on this tragic scene where my mom was shot by her boyfriend, who also shot himself. So I, walked in on this bloody scene, and that really changed, the course of my life, and grief was something very prominent I had to deal with. And so part of Boy on the Run or The Run is, trying to run away from that image that had been haunting me for my childhood since I was 12, of my mom laying on a puddle of blood like that. So the book pretty much is about how I've, moved around the country and lived my life as a black queer man trying to find myself while also dealing with grief. So it was inspired when I was 12, but I think on the cover I was about 9 or 11. I'm still not too sure. But I got a guy who was walking down the street with a camera, and he took the picture for me for like 8 rands, and little did I know I was doing a book cover then.
And these were actual Polaroid pictures. You had to wait a week so that you can go to a black room.
I had to pay a 4 rand deposit, and I paid another 4 rand when he gave me the picture.
Let me take you back to that time, Welcome. I mean, you're 12. All of this trauma, I don't think therapy, going to see a psychiatrist was anything that was forthcoming or available or accessible to you. How did you deal with it in the moment?
I mean, my family did try. My grandmother and my aunt certainly tried to get me to talk to a psychologist at a nearby clinic. And I was glad for that psychologist to tell me, write down how you're feeling, or write down things you couldn't tell me. And really, for me, that's how the book came about as well. And I was actually talking to a friend recently about remembering that it's been a while since I remember crying. But I also remember saying in the same breath that every time I write, it's like I'm crying.
Okay.
Because I get to really put out, and deal with all the difficult emotions, all the trauma.
So now that you've gone through this healing journey, right, and you're on the other side, you're able to talk to me, the audience, anyone who picks up the book finds healing through reading your pages. I imagine there are some things that you would have liked to tell your 12-year-old self. What are those?
The fact of my queerness, was something of me being gay, was something it took me a while to come to terms with.
Sure.
And particularly, religion, church, Christianity had a big role to play with God. That God hates this,
Right.
So one of the important things I would tell my younger self is that God, in whatever way I understood him to be, loves me enough to want to see me here and want to see me do good, because even as a kid I wanted to do good, to also take in the love that my mom had for me. When I was young, I was strangely scared of losing her. So in writing this book and reliving the wonderful memories I experienced with my mother, I was really able to experience that love again and to value and appreciate it. It's important, I think, to tell my younger self that the love that you have around you is worth cherishing and appreciating, and take that in and let it build you.
Just talk to me as we wrap up our conversation about the publishing journey. I mean, how did this book come about for you?
I was working for Travel magazine, and I was like, I want to leave this and I want to do my own thing and start writing. And talking to writerly friends, I had the option of, getting a book deal right there and then when I was like, I have an idea for this book I want to write.
Sure.
Or, a friend suggested the other alternative is to write it, spend time with it.
Sure.
Like the first bit of it to get a sense of how I want it to be.
Right.
And so when I was ready, because I made sure that my writing was sparkling, I reached out to various publishers. I ended up going with Jacana Media because of the passion and the dedication they showed to this book. I think it's easy to get a publishing deal once you know that there should be no question about the quality of writing.
Congratulations on this book. Is there another one on the way?
Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, I'm toying with a lot of ideas, but I'm not sure which one to commit to yet, but there will certainly be another one.
Awesome stuff, man. Welcome Mandla Lishivha, Boy on the Run. I promise you, it's not word vomit. Go and get it right now. Wrapping up today's edition of the TMS Book Club right here at the Book Circle Capital, Shalanat.